Hello everyone, this is LIGHTSTAR again. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do a channeled message that I do every year that I channel through from Ascended Master Hilarion. And it is typically published in the Sedona Journal of Emergence. And so you'll also find it there if you want to go ahead and read that whole entire channeled message along with everybody else's message in there as well. And I have to channel these messages a long time before it actually comes out and gets published. So in this particular channeled message, at the very end, there was some extra content that was channeled through after it was already published, just a few paragraphs, and I'm going to also share that with you here, so you won't find that in the actual printed publication. So let's get into it, and again, this is from channeled message from Ascended Master Hilarion, and this year's message for the upcoming 2024 is titled, "The winds of change bring unexpected surprises." Greetings, beloved souls. I greet you with an abundance of love and light pouring into your hearts. This exciting yet unpredictable year of 2024 holds many twists and turns with a momentum that leads to a moment in history that all will remember. Spontaneous and surprising initiations of expression will take place. This is not only a year that even your best psychics will easily predict, because potential decisions and choices for the collective will come to a tipping point. This collective choice point will establish the trajectory of events that will unfold over the next several years, spanning into 2030. In 2024, the spotlight will be on exposing financial, political, and judicial corruption on a grand scale. No stone will be left unturned. Your collective consciousness not only requests transparency now, you expect it. DNA expands and accelerates. Whether you are aware of it or not, your DNA has been expanding and accelerating. Your inner spark of light and truth have been enhanced. Your empathic and extrasensory perceptions have been receiving encoded augmentations and are more heightened. This is all in preparation for what will begin in 2024 and span into the next decade. And its integration is crucial for your development. DNA activation has been a central focus these past few years, especially because you have evolved to a level that you can utilize the gifts that reside within you. This will also be a focus in 2024. DNA shifts will fine-tune and prepare you for a great shift in your cellular structure and physicality. You will make a giant leap and transition into new DNA involvement in your daily activities. This means that you will use portions of your DNA strands that have not yet engaged yet for everyday situations. Although each of you are at certain stages in your spiritual development, DNA activation is happening to everyone on Gaia. You are all moving to another level of cellular refinement in your DNA and will come into alignment with your true divine gifts, talents, and predispositions. Those of you who have been working on these gifts will activate to new levels. Dormant strands will begin to stir, initiate, and become reality in your physical bodies. With these enhancements, you might experience reverse aging, greater levels of extrasensory perception, advanced levels of extraterrestrial communication, or healing abilities beyond what you thought possible. Increased photonic levels of light are flooding into your solar system and the Milky Way, causing a surge of DNA changes. Solar flare activity will heighten in 2024, part of the process that will allow for this great expansion of DNA advancement to occur. It is much like the intense pressure that creates diamonds. When a diamond is extracted from the earth, it has not yet been polished or refined, and it still contains all that dirt and dust surrounding it. The diamond becomes accustomed to its dense and dark home, shielded and hidden for so many eons of time. It will take time for that diamond to completely shed all of that dirt and debris before it can fully shine its brilliance to the world. In this analogy, if you are all diamonds in the rough and will begin that journey of emerging from Earth's core in 2024, full awareness, clarity, and refinement will not be there initially, but you are still fully finalized in the pressurization process. You will feel the quickening of DNA expression at a rapid pace this year in one form or another. Financial systems transform. One of the most significant changes in 2024 will be the transmutation of energies in your monetary and financial systems. These archaic systems have been wrestling for survival for many years, and in 2024, you will continue to see some of the root systems that have been in place for centuries break down and break apart. These will include the strongholds of dark money systems on your planet, which will become fully transparent for all to see. A massive collective chakra upgrade specifically aligned with a united root chakra clearing on a quantum level will rock everyone residing on the planet. Manipulation and control systems will surface in the coming year, bringing to light the pervading fear that has prevented financial stability and freedom for all. Your personal financial issues, such as limited financial responsibilities and feelings of lack, scarcity, and instability, will also rise to the surface, giving you opportunities to resolve them. The great incongruency between the prosperity of elites and the destitution of the impoverished will come to light and no longer be swept under the carpet and ignored. Before you can truly embrace the golden age of prosperity, contaminated systems must first be revealed, which will happen in 2024 when the financial focus is on monetary corruption and abuse of power. Criminal organizations involved in sexual abuse, child slavery, human trafficking, exploitation, bribery, treason, foreign interference, and fraud will be revealed. The rudimentary anchor that has kept these root systems in place for eons is dissolving and loosening its grip on the people of Gaia. Transparency is a key focus for 2024. Many people will become aware for the first time of the corruption that has permeated planetary systems for so long. Disclosures of corruption and illegal financial gains will shock the masses. While these revelations will be disruptive at first, they will ultimately foster a healthy reconstruction period. Many of you will say, "I did not consent to this level of corruption to exist on the planet." But in many ways, you gave your consent to some of these wrongdoings by not previously asserting your discontent with lower vibrational energies. This is not shared to place blame, but to simply point out the importance of being conscious of the leaders and organizations that run your businesses and corporations. This also includes your monetary currencies, such as precious metals, paper money, and even digital currencies. In 2024, you will finally see the full systems of manipulation and control that have run your planet. Your collective energy is ready to shift in a different direction towards more unity, prosperity, and equality. This will be one of the last remaining years that as a collective, you unconsciously consent to old archaic systems. In 2024, you will collectively choose a different pathway into the golden age. True colors show in politics. Turbulence will continue in political arenas across the globe in 2024. In the U.S., many concerns will arise from congressional leaders who shine spotlights on the discrepancies between groups that robustly honor law and order and those that seek to destroy the rule of law. You will know who is acting from a place of morality and integrity and who is not. Shifting into a new paradigm does not mean tossing out all the old ways, because some of them have value. You want to keep precious codes of conduct in place even as you rebuild a new system. Do not confuse the sentiment, "the old ways must crumble," with discarding very important values and morals. You will see these terms tossed about in this year without good reasoning behind them. So be discerning about what is cast off or rejected while new systems are rebuilt. As the political parties begin to show their true colors, how you choose your leaders will shift. Political announcements in 2024 could surprise and shock the world. What appears to be one outcome might suddenly swerve in another direction. Events will keep you on your toes this year. People will grow increasingly weary of witnessing political abuses of power, and this year of transparency will highlight the areas of politics that have been misused. The winds of change will be felt across the globe. Businesses and careers gain fresh momentum. If you own a business, you might feel as if it has stagnated. If you own a business, you might feel as if it has been stagnated or restricted by pressures and limitations. In 2024, nothing might change with the specifics of your business, but you will feel a push or pull to step into the unknown. A fresh momentum will breathe new life into your business, but you must open your heart to new ways of doing things. Opportunities this year will allow you to make different choices that feel more in alignment with your dreams and goals. You will feel as if you've been holding a stretched rubber band for an overly long time, and it's finally ready and time to release it. You will feel inspired to propel the rubber band with full freedom to launch your business anew. This sentiment relates to large corporations and also small entrepreneurial businesses across the globe. Having said this, job losses may also occur more frequently in 2024. But do not fear, as this realignment period will happen for a purpose. If you lose your job, you are meant to fly free from its constraints. It is time for you to restructure your life toward your goals and dreams. Do not fear what you hear or see in the media about job losses, especially if stories promote fear. Try to discern whether your current job is still meant for you, or if you are ready to embrace a new opportunity for growth and expansion. Have the wisdom and the insight to know the difference. This is why we stress the importance of integrating your extrasensory perception so that your intuition is accurate. Whether you hear, feel, or just know that it is time to move on from a business or job situation in 2024, you will have a heightened ability to easily, swiftly, and gracefully make a success of your situation. Digital nomads threaten the status quo. Many people will move geographically to download new frequencies, expand horizons, and optimize opportunities. This doesn't mean moving will be for everyone, but Gaia's relocation codes will be in full effect in 2024. She will also call for people to clear the land in various locations. Financial enslavement placed lower frequency strongholds in the key ley lines of Gaia's grid structures. But these grips will loosen and no longer sustain their hold on humanity. Digital nomads are also being called to vacation in certain spots across the globe to release the darkness and suppression from these grid points. The digital nomad movement allows people to discover different areas of the world with the freedom to experience life in new ways. Certain negative factions are not in favor of this expanded way of living and working because it allows people to express their freedom and sovereignty, which is the opposite of being manipulated and controlled. As you will see, many attacks will be made on this concept of freedom and movement, particularly the movement to relocate in peaceful locations away from big cities. Do not succumb to fear. The hearts and souls of digital nomads are filled with exploratory wonder. Elite powers that fear these sovereignty codes taking hold in any way will try to target the areas where digital nomads go. The solution for success resides in people's heart codes. If you desire this type of lifestyle and it aligns with your dreams, tune into your innermost guidance and intuition to find the locations where your heart, not your mind, calls. Do not be overly concerned with locations that seem as though they might be targeted. If you engage with your heart and listen to your inner divine guidance, you will be steered to the appropriate place that is meant for you. If you end up in a targeted area, you might have been guided there for a particular reason. Perhaps it might be your mission and purpose to help or warn others, or perhaps it is something your soul wants you to experience. Do not fear any of these things. Just listen to your heart and soul and move where you are called to go. Following your inner guidance is the key. The potentials for the greatest change and transformation in 2024 will occur in finance, politics, business, justice, DNA, and individual freedom. You will all see the most upheaval, revolution, dismantlement, and exposure in these areas. Nothing will be hidden any longer. The percentage of humanity interested in the truth has tipped the scales, and this will continue throughout 2024 and beyond. As the desire for truth gains momentum, corrupted systems will cease to harness their cloaks of invisibility. Brace yourself for many unexpected surprises in 2024, but do not fear them. When amid any external chaos and confusion, keep your feet firmly planted on Gaia. Align with your heart. Take necessary guided actions and responsibility for those actions, and make strides in your spiritual growth. You are loved beyond measure. Be well, be positive, be light, be love. Hilarion. And now I want to provide you with the extra information that is not included in the Predictions 2024 issue of the Journal of Emergence. This is the extra content that was channeled through after that was already published. In this time frame of extended acceleration, humanity is rapidly expanding consciousness and entering a new dawn of expansion. Now, this will mean that many of you that have been making great shifts and transformations over these past few years will step forward into your new sovereign self. A great many shifts are undergoing within Gaia, and she will be a catalyst of great proportions of magnetic frequency of energy that will amplify into a level of high frequency light. This will be creating a very exciting and yet uncertain timeline as the awakening process will begin to accelerate to a faster and more electric effect which will be felt by all residing on the planet. We have spoken in the past about indigo frequency and the white diamond indigo frequencies that have been activated this past year and will continue to receive new divine instructions also in 2024. The new sovereign movement and the encodements and concentrated light codes of these divine frequencies are beautiful in their expression, and you will see more humans creatively emerging on the planet as they are immersed into humanity's collective at this time, awaiting their appropriate timeline of activation. Rebelliousness, eccentricity, and oddness. In 2024, you will see a rise in people testing the waters to see how far they can push the collective in one direction or another. The rebelliousness of people will begin to rise to a greater degree, and the odd, strange, and uniqueness of people will begin to feel as if it's straying even more from the status quo or the norm. In the wake of uniqueness that will surface with all of this, it will also stir inconsistencies into the collective thought processes, belief systems, and the like. This will continue well past 2024, as there will be many people that will begin to appear less like the norm in society. This is happening because your whole of humanity is seeking a change, and this is being displayed as oddness and people feeling like they are misfits. In many ways, it's true. You will not feel like you fit the standard mold anymore, as many of you will not resonate with just the humdrum, average, normal way of life. It is perfectly acceptable to cross the boundaries of the norms of society. Where this begins to be problematic is when it is damaging to the collective as a whole. Be mindful of judgment in these times. It is not your job to judge one another harshly on this planet, but many of you feel this is part of your mission. It is not. Judgments do not serve you on your planet, except for in the events when you are dealing with serious criminal acts and behaviors. And even in those cases, it is important to remember that although you have the ability to make certain decisions and certain judgments, you are also a representative of the spark of the Creator's love and light residing within you. Remember who you are and treat others as you wish to also be treated. The laws and institutions that you have set up on your world exist to keep the peace within communion is necessary for a transitional time frame until humanity finds new and novel ways of handling these situations that work for the whole of your collective consciousness. This concludes the channeling from Master Hilarion, and I want to thank you guys for listening and experiencing the nuances and the information downloads that have come through for 2024. If you'd like to support my journey and helping to bring more content to YouTube and provide all this activation and goodness for you guys, please consider providing a donation to my work, and you can do that in many different ways. If you head on over to my website at LIGHTSTARCreations.com, you'll also see a donation page on there where it has many different forms for you to provide your donation. I have a vibrational giving, a certain specified dollar amount that is aligned with a certain frequency, and you can give that way, or you can become a patron on Patreon, or you can actually just donate whatever that feels in resonance with you. And there's also super thanks on YouTube, and that is the little heart button that is next to the like button below the video, and you can also donate that way. And something that I do for anyone who donates to my work, I send a remote light language blessing of love and abundance and support right back to you. It's my way of saying thank you for your donation. And I so appreciate all of you who have donated and all my patrons. I love you guys and thank you so much for your continued love and support. And another way to support me is to just head on over to my website and make a purchase of one of my awesome products and services that I have to help you to activate and to enlighten you and to bring more light and love into your life. So head on over there and check out all the different things I have, many different types of products and services for you. And once again, I extend my love and gratitude and appreciation to all of you who have extended your support to me in the past. I love you guys and I thank you for everything.